Hold on, you guys. Skynet did not want me to be on here tonight. Let me just tell you, Skynet was trying to let your girl not come on. Anyway, you guys, hey, this is Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I come on here tonight because I was on the O'Shea channel and, uh, you know, I was talking and I was giving numbers and I was giving facts. And for some reason, people act like they had never heard this before. Guys, please put a one in the comments if you can hear me. Please put a one in the comments. Let me see if anybody's here tonight. Please put a one in the comment section so that we can all hear each other. Long story short, what I realized is maybe, just maybe, I had not shared the numbers on my own channel. Maybe I hadn't shared it with you guys. Maybe I hadn't done enough, right? Because for some reason, people just were like, never heard of that. Ever. And I was just sitting there shocked. So if you guys are ready, have your pens and paper ready to hear some numbers and some truths. They did. The man had his foot on my neck. I see y'all comments while I was gone. Don't do me like that, y'all. Priscilla said, really? Yeah, I'm here. It's a late night for the East Coast folk. Anyway, let's get this started. So I was on the O'Shea channel, and some people were like, oh, yeah, in the factories, they bringing down prices. They doing all this. And I said, look here, bro. Factory jobs been rolling out the door the past 20 years. What are you talking about, right? Like, factory jobs have been rolling out. Let me get my show lipstick on, y'all. Makes me feel better. It makes me feel better. So look, factory jobs have been rolling out the door for a while. And since I was given these numbers, I realized maybe I haven't given you guys these numbers. So y'all ready for the numbers tonight? A lot of people, if you've been watching the news, there is a caravan, about 7,000 people. And they're broken into two groups of 3,000-ish people coming to the border to basically invade, right? And people go, oh, Erica, you're overreacting. It's just 7,000. But you don't understand. I'm in Texas. I'm on the front line. I see whole communities in Spanish. I see whole plazas in Spanish. And for the brothers that were on the O'Shea channel yesterday talking about factory jobs, I was like, y'all 35, 40, 45 years old talking about $14 an hour jobs? $15 an hour jobs? Oh, I got work to do. Because when I was hearing all those guys in the comment section, oh, they work together and all this stuff. And what's sad is you got a lot of people out here arguing about dating white women, dating black women, dating single moms, all this conversation that does nothing to you financially. That does nothing to to better your community, increase your life. None of this stuff. So here's the crazy part. Okay? Here's the crazy part. I'm going to give y'all some of these numbers. Now, Western Union, if you guys don't know about Somalia, we had the Somalia pirate crisis. What had happened is the United States, George Bush Jr., had decided that there was a company that was sending money back and forth, and it was similar to Western Union. Well, Western Union got in a fight with this company. So they deemed this company to be a terrorist organization, and it could no longer do financial banking in America. Well, then Somalia said, well, you know what? We're not even going to let Western Union in our country because we had our own version of Western Union, and the United States wouldn't allow it. So guess what happened? That money transaction got shut down, so people couldn't do what? Send money from the United States to home. Then Japan overfished its waters. So then what happened? On the news, you see in Somali pirates, but guess what? The pirates are never jacking American ships. They were always jacking Japanese ships, Asian ships. We were all getting up in their business, and that was none of our business. We should never shut down their Western Union version. See, all these African countries, when people say, oh, these African countries are so behind, that's a lie. They have major cities. They have all the same services as America. But if American companies want to get over there, we can simply say, oh, well, United States doesn't accept that company. We don't accept bank transactions from that company. And now their people are hungry. Same thing happening in Yemen, having a famine. How are you having a famine? How? Again, there's a lot of things I could talk on to that, but let me give you the point of the story is Western Union got in a lawsuit with the United States, and the United States said, listen, we're trying to round up these illegals. We just trying to know. Show us the numbers. So Western Union's like, hey, we'll kind of cave in halfway. There are 30 million unique individuals who come to Western Union and send money to where? South America, not Mexico. All the other countries in South America. Like many of y'all sit here and go, Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. These Mexicans. Mexicans don't come here. I live in Texas. Mexicans don't come here. They don't need to. The past 20 years, Uncle Bobby, Uncle Rick, Uncle Sam been sending money home. $100 a week. Now imagine you got 10 million Mexicans sending $100. We're just doing a small number. $100 a week home. What does that come out to, y'all? That comes out to, let's just say it comes out to hundreds of millions of dollars every week going home to Mexico. And that's been going on for 20 years. So now what's going on in Mexico City? New apartments, new housing, the best of the best, all kind of companies. They're thriving. So guess what? Some of these old Uncle Rickies and Uncle Bobbies that's been working at food service places, they do what? Go home. They've already paid for a house. I told y'all when I worked at Jason's Deli, all the ladies on the line own a house in their own country. How? A home in their own country was close to 12 grand, 30 grand max. Big homes. So what were they doing? Sending home money for down payments, sending home money to make sure mom was okay, sending home money to make payments to the companies there. You ever go to see Chinese banks? There's Chinese banks all over Georgia. Those people put that money in those banks, send it home to China. That's why there's Chinese banks in America. Okay? Now look, many people be like, oh man, Erica, why you gotta be talking about the immigrants tonight, Erica? Why we gotta talk about immigrants? Because some of y'all really don't understand. And when I was on the O'Shea show, I literally was almost depressed at the fact that the men in the comment section were about 25 years behind. And to be honest, about 10 good years. They're 10 good years behind. And what's happening is I'm in Austin, and the Hispanic people you're meeting are the millionaires. They only live in Hill Country if they're millionaires. They're not coming here to work. Now, remember what I told y'all about the Haitians? So 175,000 Haitians made their way from Brazil when Brazil let them come over after the earthquake to do what? Build the Brazil Olympics, all that stuff. They used them as cheap labor. Now, you know how Brazil be tripping on dark-skinned people in the South part. So a lot of those Haitians got absorbed up north. And then Obama said, listen, we can take Haitians. Don't y'all be sending those people back to Haiti. How dare you? If they make it to America, we'll let them in. Now, Obama know he didn't really mean that, because it take like 100 days walking to get there, 150 plus. And guess what? All of a sudden, you had 175,000 Haitians at the border. Well, all of a sudden, when they start trying to do it the right way, Obama's like, oh, we changed our mind. That program's over. That program is over. And what did that end up doing? That ended up having highly skilled people who could speak bilingual French, Creole, English from Haiti stuck at the borders in Mexico. They have a whole little town down there that their money's just running through. Okay. Now, so far, what has happened to that number? Because Obama's been out about almost 2 years now. Well, now that number is down to 120,000. Now, many people say, well, where did the 50,000 go? Did they go back to Haiti? Hell no, they ass ain't go back to Haiti. They're up in America. They're all up in here in America. So the part that cracks me up is you got Brazilians, Jamaicans, all these people at the border, and people go, Erica, you don't know that. Well, here, let me give you the update. On the Honduran, Guatemalan governments and several of the governments, as the people are passing through their country, government agents are detaining people, bits and pieces here and there, pulling up IDs. And guess what? They're pulling out IDs from Bangladesh, IDs from the Middle East, Africans, all up in this group of poor Honduras people coming to America. What do you think that means? People got the memo. People know, okay, well, if I hide within this group, I can get in the border. You know, people fly to Mexico and fly to these countries in Canada because they know if they can just find a way into America, it's a big place to hide. You think there's a reason these people go to New York City and LA and California? They can hide. Here in Texas, When they started acting like ICE was really about to roll up and take these people out, overnight, people disappeared out of Austin and went where? To Houston. Went where? These small little nowhere towns. That's not everything's in Spanish now. You drive through it, you don't even know you're in Texas. You're like, is everything the gas stations in Spanish? The plazas in Spanish? Where the white people? They there. But the Hispanic people run that town. Okay? So look, what I'm trying to say is when those Mexican people left, and they're not just Mexicans, they're El Salvadorians, all kind of people left Austin, it put KB Homes, all these home builders, DR Horton behind 8 months. Y'all remember when I was trying to buy a house? They were like, girl, you want one of these already built houses because these new houses going to take 8 months. I said, I ain't never heard of a house taking 8 months. It takes 3 months, 4 months max. Well, them Hispanic people done went on to Houston. And the hurricane came through, so we can't find no good contractors. Okay, so they changed the economy. Now, they had a dude, Tony Maceo, that was on the other day. Make sure you guys hit the like button as you come in. I know it's late, but the California people might see it, might want to come in. He was talking about Alabama, and I was there, y'all. I was there in Hoover, Alabama after the tornado had hit Pale City, which is the black side of town. And also, my mom was helping a reserve unit down there in Alabama. Now, here's the thing. Birmingham is one of the biggest U.S. cities, counties in the world, in the United States, because basically they annexed everybody, right? They annexed everybody. And underneath it, though, there's like this imaginary line, we'll just call it imaginary, that all of a sudden you cross over to Hoover, Vestavia Hills. You cross over to, what's the name of that other place beside it? I'm forgetting it, but if anybody knows it, let me know. Hoover, Vestavia Hills, and Hoover average income is $92,000 a year in Alabama. Why? Because you have manufacturing companies there. They got the, what do you call them? Mercedes-Benz, BMW, you name them, they over there. AT&T had this huge place with a swimming pool, a daycare. Indians were walking to work every day. Money was up in that part of Alabama. But guess who was working all those restaurant jobs and all those stuff behind the scenes in the nice part of Alabama? Hispanic people. There were whole apartment complexes full of Hispanic people. There were whole plazas in Spanish in Alabama. Hoover, Alabama. Whole plazas. In the big main parts, y'all. So guess what happened? When they passed this really aggressive law, we're going to collect y'all up. We're going to round y'all up. We're going to get the kids out of school. We're going to detain them. We're going to, all this crazy shit. Overnight, I was there. We drove by this apartment complex and we laughed sometimes. My mom would be like, look at all the Mexicans out, right? That's something she just said. Nothing personal. But it'd be like 7 or 8 guys just standing around these apartment complexes because they knew people would come by and pick them up for work. Nobody was out there. Nothing was left but a few broke down Honda cars on bricks. A complex of over 500 units was completely empty. Every single car gone. There was police tape around the building. My mom said there must have been a fire. Oh my God, what happened over there? So we being nosy. We talking to the police. Hey, sir, what happened? Putting on our extra country accents. Man, tomorrow, the Hispanic people left. All of them. Ain't nobody left in the plaza. They gone. Now, this plaza, this was a 500 unit apartment complex. And when I say they was gone, y'all, they was gone. They had police tape around it. Why? Because the police were scared that the stuff they left, people would come in and break it and steal it. I was like, they don't care. Them people is gone. Them people ain't coming back. And guess what happened to Alabama? They took a 6% hit to their GDP. Nobody wanted to come out there and work in the fields. I mean, you saw the video on O'Shea Channel. Y'all can watch it again over there. I was there. Nobody went to work in the fields. All of a sudden, all the black people that live up in the bad part of Birmingham, the broke part of Birmingham, they made a whole new bus route. They got a whole new 3-4 new buses to go down to downtown Birmingham so that those black people down there can bus themselves almost an hour in to Vestavia Hills and Hoover so they would have people to work in the food restaurants. Do you understand? Do you understand how deep it is in America right now? So when people are sitting here talking about, well, Erica, immigration hurts black people. It doesn't. It hurts poor people. It hurts people with no skills. Now, people are going to say, well, Erica, what about the HBV1 visas? Those Indians are coming over and they're taking good jobs too. Now, here's where I was trying to show on the show yesterday. I had so many notes, I couldn't go over all of them. To me, that's limited thinking. If you know the Indians are coming into your sector, and this is where America is, I'm not trying to say broken, but it is. Nobody's teaching anybody y'all need assets. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. Pay all your cars off. Pay your house off. No one's telling people that. No one's telling people that, right? Because here's the thing. When you talk about tech, there's tech jobs from the front door to the back door to the wherever. I go up to Dale. The girl that works the front desk is just a receptionist white girl. Don't even got a degree. She chilling, making good money. The people that work inside Dale, because it's a special place where they don't want you stealing things, you're going to get higher income from the floor to the janitors to the cashiers to the whoever. And they're training people up along the way. You can get training at these places. They take all kind of, listen, I went to a job fair when I first moved here, and I was like, yo, here's my degree. And somebody from Dale was like, we don't even care. We got all kind of stuff we can train you on. But that's the thing. When you don't think those jobs are available, you don't go pursue them. You don't go look for them. The problem, I say, with a lot of blacks and a lot of young people when it comes to sports, they're so busy wanting to be on the field. They want to shine. They want somebody to look at me. There's a million different jobs that go all around sports. Like there's a million different jobs that go all around tech. Ever since I moved to Austin, and I tell people, the more you move, the better it be for you. Because every time I move, I found out about 100 new jobs I've never heard of in my life. Go on Indeed.com. Pick a different city. Go on Indeed.com and pick Austin. Go on LinkedIn and look up all these people's job titles. And, I told y'all when I was in Dallas, I was riding in the car, and I told the black man, I'm a consultant. He said, man, everybody's a consultant. I said, sir, because there's so many fields you can consult in. Now, I won't trying to be knocking the brother. I won't trying to do that. But he started talking about Texas need more regulations. And I was like, take your A back to California then. Nah, I like guns. I don't want to go back to California. Then be quiet and enjoy Texas. There's a lot of things about North Carolina I think does better than Texas, but can I run around saying that? Not today. If I want to go back to North Carolina, that's where I go, right? So that's what we have. We have a lot of people coming from California, coming to these places, and they tripping. Cam, that's where I'm going, Cam. Cam said there's going to be a shortage of home inspectors in the next 10 years, supposedly. So Cam, every time, someone even sent me an email today. Most times when you go to home appraiser classes or home inspector, they're all 60, 70-year-old white men. How long do you think 60, 70-year-old white men are going to climb on ladders, potentially, some houses, go up under a house if need be, stick a flashlight in a basement? How long? They back already hurt. They ain't trying to do that at 80. And I'm sitting here telling all these people, if you're a black guy or a black girl and you don't want to be a real estate agent, I don't need you to be. There's hundreds of jobs, from loan originator to loan mortgages to the people that work in the office, the people that process data. All kind of jobs are available. There are people, all they do is CRM with the leads. Similar to Salesforce, but different. There's people that work in so many different systems. Home inspectors and home appraisers are making six figures, $130,000, $140,000 a year. But you hear people tell it, there ain't no $100,000 a year jobs out here no more, Erica. Yeah, if your lazy ass don't want to work, they ain't. Honey, do you know when it wasn't this hurricane, but it was a couple hurricanes a couple years ago in Florida happened? They hired 5,000 insurance claim adjusters. And they were going to ship them up and down Florida. I mean, they had people training for, I think, 4 weeks. No, 2 weeks. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, training, trying to get them ready. They had a guaranteed paycheck at the end of training. Guess what happened at the end of training? A bunch of people didn't want to complete it. They got their check and they was, this is hard. This is hard. People don't really want to work no more. Let's just be real, keep it 100. They want to show up somewhere in a big company and hide and not really work hard and gossip at work and get ready for lunch and then do a little bit of work 2 hours before they got to go so they can keep up with it. If you want to be lazy, the best place to be lazy is a big company. Because these smaller companies, they need you to work. So the thing of it is again, when it comes to these jobs, insurance claim adjuster, HVAC, all this stuff, you have to find all the jobs that surround that job. A lot of times people be like, well, Erica, I don't want to be a doctor. I didn't say go be a doctor, but there's a million different jobs in the hospital. I know people, like, they just had that black woman who was like, basically said, well, we're going to teach cops not to shoot black people, right? And people were like, oh my God, we should get her job. She should be fired. The hospital came out and said, listen, Black lady over here makes $1 million a year. She's a hospital executive. What she does in her private time is none of our business. She does great work for the hospital. That is it. Press release over. So you got a woman with $1 million job, but black women ain't got no money. Black people ain't got no money. Now, if I was her, first thing I would do, so when they posted her salary out for the public to see, I go buy some rentals. I move to a new place. I change all my phone numbers because some of her family did not know she made $1 million a year. They didn't. Bonquisha had to change all the numbers. Okay. Now, something I am waiting to tell y'all more on, but I'm not going to go too far into it tonight. There's all these incentives coming up out of nowhere. Under Trump is like wild, wild west, y'all. And the incentives are for fixing where? Gentrification areas, fixing up homes, putting in solar panels, installation, you name it. Honey, I'm going to save it for the future conversation, but maybe 2 weeks from now, we'll do a whole video on it. But there was one area where it was $300,000 in grants. Grants. But guess what you had to be? You had to own a property in that economic zone. Opportunity zone. See, people, Erica, homes are a trap. Yeah, if you're buying a home as just to live there, you're not buying in the raggedy ghetto part of town, redeveloping. You got people walking around out here with $100,000 in refunds from the government, working on properties in the hood. But people are overlooking it. So that'll be a show for the future. I'll leave that alone. But it's a real big thing. Now, some of the numbers I promised to give y'all, and the reason I keep pushing y'all to get higher income, strive for these higher jobs, out of all Americans, like 20% of all white Americans are 65 years or older. Out of all, the median age for white people is 45. A lot of people are old. They old. I'm just trying to convince y'all. They old. There's all these jobs that will open up here pretty soon because they are old and they want to retire at some point. And at some point, some of these companies do practice ageism. So this is a perfect time to get training, to grow your business. I mean, I keep telling y'all, before this recession happens and they clamp down, I got people who work for companies, they pay for their travel every Friday through Sunday. Now, wherever they want to fly home to, my friend picks a new home every weekend because it's covered under company pay. She living the life, y'all. She living the life. But the fact is, a lot of these companies, their benefits are out there. But you ever read the book Slight Edge or Compound Effect? The fact is, most people won't do that extra bit, that extra training, that extra, I'm going to keep knocking doors and talking to people. They won't do it. They won't do it. So, they want to chill on the weekends. Glendon did a whole video about that. And that's true. It's true. I've seen so many companies that go, you have to work one Saturday, rotating Saturdays, right? Like alternate Saturdays. So at least twice a month. And they were going, that's the hardest job they ever get to fill. They can never fill it. They have to bring in temps to fill it because nobody wants to work it. They deserve their Saturday. Bro, if you're working in that job, you don't got no money. So anyway, are you guys ready for some of these numbers? Hopefully you got your pens and paper by now. So HB1 visas have tripled to 83,000 people this year. Now, over the past 10 years, it's been 800,000 people. Now, here's the thing people have been complaining about. Chain migration. Now, this is when it comes to all the Indian workers and people complaining about tech jobs. They're allowed to bring up to 12 family members. And I'm here in Austin, Texas. And I can tell you, out there in Round Rock and Pflugerville and Georgetown, you got these Indian guys working at Dell with a little mini mansion in Georgetown. And you're like, what's going on? Whole family up in there. Another Indian family, a grandma, a grandpa. They in every corner of that house. And be cars all in the front of that house. You'd be like, what is going on? Because, been the bartender up to 12. So now imagine 800,000 immigrants came on the HBV1 visas. And each one of them got 12. Do the math. That's 8 million people. Minimum. I'm doing the small numbers. Let's say 8 million for happy numbers, right? 8 million came. Really more like 10, but 8 million. Chain migration. Look at Donald Trump's parents-in-law. His wife's parents been in America since him and his wife been married. Even before then, they've been here with no documentation. And then all of a sudden they get visas after it came to the news and they were sharing it in the news. All of a sudden they got visas. Now, so all these people they're complaining about that don't got no documentation, don't got no visas, his parents-in-law sitting right up in the country with no visas, no documentation. Do you get what I'm saying? I think, like, I'm really surprised that so many Americans are like, oh, Erica, I'm struggling in student loans and my credit repair is bad. Like, that's the only reason we keep even doing credit repair in this company. That's the only reason, because when people call me like, Eric, I'm just trying to get a home and there's only a few things, I don't mind those. Those people are on a mission. When people start talking to me about cars and stuff, I'm like, do you understand what's about to happen? Do you see there's a recession coming? Do you see there's millions of illegal people here that are going to take every job that's underneath a certain bar? Do you see it? Are you paying attention? You're clearly not. You really aren't. Story of Black conservative SOBC. No, I'm not. Go look up the story link. They were not Persian residents. They were not. That's why it made the news. Go look it up. Go look it up. Go pull the link up and send it to me and put it in the comment section, because you're not telling the truth. This was a big thing in the news because they did not. That was the whole point of the news story. They were like, her parents don't have any documentation. They didn't have any kind of citizenship. They didn't have any permanent. They didn't have any green cards. They were here on a visitor's visa a long time ago, and they just been here. Look it up. Pull up the article. They made a big stink, not on CNN, but on CBS and all these other places, going, hey, what happened with that? Oh, paperwork takes so long. Literally what the president said. Paperwork takes so long. Go pull it up. Pull up the article. I mean, dude, I study this all the time. Pull up the article. This is one of these things. So, thank you. Always Ready 24/7. It takes a good while to become a permanent resident. It takes years. Years. Our parents been here years now, but they weren't. That was the point of the news article. So please don't try me tonight. Like, I welcome for you to come on the show and talk and all that stuff, but I'm not just quoting. Oh, I'm just pulling out my ass. No, I'm literally, this whole special I did on O'Shea channel was about immigration. Okay. So now they just did when they did the census, National Policy Institute said they were behind. National Policy Institute said they accidentally, for the past 20 years, have been overcounting white people by counting Egyptians, Northern Africans, which you could go Egyptians, Liberians, who else is up there? Moroccans, as white people. They've been, they said, whoops, we messed up there, and we overcounted some Hispanics as white Hispanics. So the numbers are off, and the next census should fix it. The next census shall fix it. Now, this was the last census. The last census had 28% increase in Hispanics, a 25% increase in Asians, a 9% increase in Native Americans, a 8% increase in African Americans, 2% increase in whites. Okay? So when they started saying what's going on in Texas and California cities, Korea towns are popping up, China towns are popping up in larger numbers. Where is this coming from? This is where it's coming from. This is where it's coming from. The trend of, a lot of people say, well, Eric, I see a lot of interracial Asian white couples, Asian woman white couples. That's reversing. They're showing it's reversing on the marriage rates in these towns. Again, another one. I got another one. In Texas, 1 in 4 children under the age of 10 years old are Hispanic. Let me give you another one. This is for Texas, y'all. Not the United States, for Texas. I'll give you the United States one in a second. For Texas, 7 million children in Texas. Now, again, remember, we've got 293 people moving to Dallas today, 157 people moving to Austin today. It used to be 500 a day moving to Houston Metro, which is really encompasses 11 counties around it. But because of the storm, we cannot do that. Baggett's 900. Go pull up the article. Go pull up the article on Trump's mother-in-law and father-in-law. Do not, another person comments on this, I'll just keep kicking y'all out. I'll just keep timing y'all out. Go pull up the article. Google on your phone. Google on the phone. I've already asked y'all. Go Google on the phone and see what I'm talking about so it matches what I'm saying. Pull it up. Because I have Chinese and Vietnamese people that I do business with here. Pull it up. I'm not pulling it out of my butt. Okay. Again, for Texas, back to what I was saying. Jay Charles, it took my mother 6 years to do it. Thank you, Jay Charles. Thank you. It's not like even the guy Calypso that's over there on O'Shea channel takes a long time. Okay, ready? 7 million kids in Texas, 50% of them are Hispanic. This is all 7 million children that are right now on the record. Of course, there's more. In Texas, 50% are Hispanic, 33% are white, 11% are black, 6% are Asian. Now, here's what I was trying to say on O'Shea Show. Texas is the number 2 highest demographic of African Americans in the whole United States. The highest. It's the highest, right after New York, at the state of New York. So if we're only 11% here, and this is the second highest place, what do you think that means? Okay, that's how many Hispanic children are really here. And that's why when people, yes, Ben the bartender, out of 7 million children in Texas, you have 50% Hispanic. Okay, now most people, if you talk to them, they go, well, oh, Houston's so ghetto. And at first, when I first moved here, I didn't understand what that meant. I was like, Houston's ghetto? Well, 2/3 of the whole state of Texas population is in Houston. And Houston is truly the demographic shifter of Texas. And every time I drive to Houston, you know what I see? Black business owners, Asian business owners, you name it, they're down there. And I'm like, what do you mean Texas is ghetto? All I see is classy folks making money. Now, they got crazy traffic. Georgia's behind that, Franklin. Number 1 is New York City. Pull this up on blackdemographics.com. Number 1, you can Google it right now. Texas is the number 2 population of African Americans in the whole United States. Look it up right now. Whoever is questioning it, look it up. I'm not fighting with y'all tonight. I'm just saying, I literally study this repeatedly for a book I'm trying to put together. So that's why I know. And this one, I want it to be a big, thick, huge 100-page book. As goes Texas, as goes the country. That's not the name of it, but there was a lot I want to tell y'all. But anyway, and so I would, every time I go to Houston, I go, what are they talking about? And there was an article about what's the source? S. Earl Ray. Look it up. Google. Texas is number 2. Texas blackdemographics.com is CDC numbers. Pull it up. Please don't make me get y'all feisty with y'all tonight. I don't want to. It's late. Don't do it now. T. Kelly, I Googled it. It took my brother-in-law longer than 5 years. There you go. And brother-in-law, he was married, correct? Exactly. People keep trying to play me. I can't stand it. Just Google it. Don't see. And I'm naming out website after website. I'm naming out fact after fact. Y'all can Google every single one of these and verify what I'm saying. I can't do the show and also type it in the comment section at the same time. That's too much, y'all. That's way too much. That's just not happening. Again. Now, these are some of the projections that they thought were going to happen in Texas in the future. 61% Hispanic, 22% white, 9% black, and 8% Asian. Now, who grew in that? Asians grew and Hispanics grew. Blacks went down and white went down. Whites went down, what, 11%? That's the future projections. Now, that's the projections outside of them adding new people every year. Now, what's happening? Everybody who's been watching this channel, what's been happening? You got people fleeing California, fleeing New York. Let's bring those numbers up again. Okay? You guys, I'm bringing the numbers up again. If you look on any of the pages, on Facebook, Instagram, I've been posting the articles everywhere. You can go cross-check those articles. But you're not going to bother me tonight. Okay? You pull it up. Hold on. So I want to read these numbers off right. See, y'all testing a sister's nerves today. Hold on. It's the numbers about people moving. Hold on. We're going to pull it up right. So I want to make sure I do the numbers right. Because y'all's tripping. Y'all being a little fasted in that. All right. You can look this up and everybody pay attention. Top counties with the largest inbound/outbound net domestic migration in the last 5 years. You can find this on Rent Cafe. Then you can find the source. Are you ready for people looking for the sources tonight? U.S. Census Bureau of County Population Totals and Components of Change 2017. Okay, everybody, y'all heard that? Do I need to read it again? I'm gonna read it again because I want to make sure. Okay. U.S. This is the source. This is the source. U.S. Census Bureau County Population Totals and Components of Change 2017. You can also find several of my articles that I quote on this channel on Rent Cafe. It's a lot of where I pull up a lot of information. All right, are you guys ready for places losing people? If you guys are ready, I'm ready to teach, okay? For places losing people, Los Angeles, California, number 1, 381,000 people. Chicago, 290,000 people. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. It's 120 y'all here. At least hit the like button. If you ain't gonna super chat, hit the like button so I can keep on teaching. You know Skynet will shut it down. Kings, New York, which is Brooklyn, New York, 192,000 people. Miami-Dade, Florida, which is Miami, 170,000 people. 176,000 people. Queens, New York. In commutation, it says Queens, New York, 162,000 people. The Bronx, New York, 110,000 people. Wayne County, Michigan, which is Detroit, 100,000 people, 106,000 people. New York, New York, which is Manhattan, 100,000 people. Fairfax, Virginia, which is Washington, D.C., because it's a county, state, and then the metro area, 79,000 people. Santa Clara, California, which is San Jose, I may be saying it wrong, is 70,000 people. That's how many people left those places. Almost 400,000 people left Los Angeles. Almost 300,000 left Chicago. I already told y'all in several previous videos. In Chicago, 3,000 millionaires went peace out because you guys were taxing them to death. 300,000, 30,000 over the past 10 years, not the past 5, but over the past 10 years, you can look up black families, 300,000, and they mostly just move and migrate to suburbs and different things, but over 30,000 black families, middle-class black families out of that number. So we had 300,000 moving, but only 10% were wealthy left. Now, this isn't a yearly number, Franklin Mind. This is a 5-year period. This article is over 5 years. This is in the last 5 years. Now, where did they move? We talked about this, right? Where did they go? Exactly. Where did they go? Let me give you the numbers. For everybody, number one guess, who've been on the show, where's the number one city they were going? Maricopa County, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. Guess how many people Phoenix, Arizona got? 220,000 people. 220,000 people moved into Phoenix. I've been to Phoenix. It ain't even that big, y'all. How did they get that? How did they get that many people there? Now, I'm surprised Nevada wasn't higher up on the list, but Maricopa County came in 1. Las Vegas came in number 2. And I think that's because people Las Vegas is so too much action, right? So Clark, Nevada, Las Vegas got 120,000 people. Denton, Texas, which is Dallas-Fort Worth, got 96,000 people, which I know it's more than that. Fort Bend, Texas, which is Houston, got 92,000 people. Lee, Florida, which is Fort Myers, Florida, got 90,000 people. Collin, Texas, which is another suburb of Dallas-Fort Worth, got 86,000 people. Riverside, California, which is Inland Empire, got 80,000 people. Now, anybody from California, please tell me what's going on Riverside, California. Please tell me what's going on Inland Empire. Anybody from California, please tell me. Anybody in Phoenix, Arizona, please tell me what Arizona is looking like right now. In Bear, Texas, which I'm saying it wrong, is Bexar, Texas, is San Antonio. They got 80,000 people. In Williamson County, which is not Travis County, which is Austin, but Williamson County is Round Rock, Pflugerville, Georgetown. They got 70,000 people. Round Rock and Georgetown are the 3rd largest growing suburbs in America. Go Google that up. It's an article. Round Rock, Texas, Georgetown, Texas, 3rd largest growing suburb in the United States. Now, last but not least, my favorite baby, number 10, Wake County, North Carolina, Raleigh, 73,000 people. Could have told you that any day of the week. Now, this wasn't a top 20 list, it was a top 10, but I'm pretty sure you have on there um, Raleigh, Charlotte, Nashville, Atlanta, of course, somewhere on the list, somewhere. Um, who's another place that's growing crazy? Another city in Florida I can't think of. Maybe Tampa, St. Pete's. There's got to be some other cities I'm missing that I can think of. People are moving to. But yeah, so that's where people are going. And the reason I keep bringing these numbers up is I think what I'm reading and what I'm seeing, I think Americans are just waking up to. Right? Like they're just figuring out like, oh, there's no more factory jobs. There's no more easy jobs where I can come in and drive a forklift and goof off with the guys. Nah, bro, you 40 years old. You got to go pick a new career. And I think the same thing happened with the coal miners and the factory workers. It's almost being forced out of a career, right? Because it's hard when you switch careers. It's exhausting. You know, a lot of guys when they're driving trucks, if they're going to leave truck driving, they're like, oh, I don't want to have to come back and forth. I want to pick something and go. And what's happening is people are waiting until they're just like forced. They're like forced. I love AZ except for the lost black people who are oblivious to time, aka swirling. Stop. So, you know, here's the thing. I used to always joke California black people are weird, but if they just move in Arizona, there they are. I mean, they're just blending into the people. Hold on. Okay. All right. So again, I've got so many numbers that, you know, my head could hurt. And I know y'all want sources, and I'm always trying to give sources. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not trying to fight with people. It's too late at night. And two, this is part of a book I'm trying to put together. Peace Information Man. Is Information Man here? What you doing up, Information Man? What's up? Listen, again, you guys who are in Phoenix, Arizona, tell me what it's looking like. And for you in Las Vegas, tell me what it's looking like, because we're only going off what we're seeing. We're seeing mass migration to Las Vegas, mass migration to Phoenix, Arizona. It looks like everybody out of California is trying to jump ship. Is East Coast still up? What's up, East Coast people? All right, so here's another one. Okay. Tell me when y'all ready. I have too many things on here. Oh, okay. So one of the things I was talking about was one of the biggest contractors. Now, many people say, well, Erica, all the Hispanic men are going to come take all the contractors, all the construction jobs. You know, there's no point in me getting a skill in those fields anymore because they're going to take all the jobs. That's bunk. The people who are going to get the jobs and the big government contracts are going to be native born people. Now, prime example, I want y'all to look this woman up. Her name is Gail Warrior, and she ain't no baby boomer. Because I know somebody going to be like, the baby boomers have all the wealth. Tone talks and Yvette told me so. No, they ain't. Okay, GailWarrior.com. Gail Warrior of the Warrior Group, which they have an office in Dallas. They're Dallas based. She got a $40 million contract for government base fixing the housing for El Paso, where the base is on El Paso. Next one, she had $150 million this year alone, her company made. So many people are going to be like, Erica, there's 2.6 black million firms, but 95% don't have any paid employees. Okay, well, about the 5% that do? Somebody give me the math. I'm going to pull my own calculator out. I ain't going to pull my own calculator out since y'all want to fight tonight. All right, 2.6 million. Let's go and do that. Times 5%. Now, that's 5%, right? That's 130,000 companies that are hiring a ton of people. Now, those companies that do hire employees, they have created 1 million jobs. So that means out of the 130,000 small companies, out of that 5%, they have 1 million employees between them. Okay? And the bulk of black businesses is not hair salons and barbershops and all that crap. Number one, construction. Oh no, the Mexicans took all the construction, Erica. What are you talking about? How black people doing construction? Construction, number one. Number two, service based. Number three, medical. And number one of those, medical supply companies. So guess what? If you're a black guy opening a medical supply company, you might not need a ton of staff, depending on how your contracts go. Okay, okay, people, come on now. Come on, don't tell me I'm not spitting your facts here. And the rest are healthcare, social assistance, repair, maintenance based companies, and personal services. Okay. So for the people like black people ain't gonna get nothing together. Black people got plenty of stuff going on. You just don't know any of them. That's all that means. You need to get in a new room. Now, another thing they've been saying since 1980s that legal immigrants was 11 million. There's 11 million. And that many is just 11 million, Erica. All right. So they've been saying that number for 20 years. Now, if I just told you Western Union said it was 30 million individual unique transactions going to where? Not Mexico, the rest of South America. Now, what do you think the true number is? Okay. Oh yeah. Chris McDonald, I think it's more than 45 million actually. I think we're probably near 50. There was an article I was reading, but I can't verify that one, so I'm not going to quote that one. Now, the government said, we've been miscounting, so the official number from the government now is 25 million. We may have 25 million illegal. Now, listen, you ever hear that thing? Don't convince me. Do you believe me or your lying eyes? I'm telling you, I'm here in Texas and I'm going through whole towns, town after town, where everything's in Spanish. I'm going through whole communities, Spanish. I'm going to flea market after flea market. It's completely Spanish based. Some of them got swipe cards, but mostly doing what? Working in cash. Millions of dollars going all over this. I'll tell you this. I went to North Carolina and we went to the state park. We up in the mountains. And the lady in there, she was standing there with her baby and her family. And the man said, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And she couldn't barely speak English. She said, "Salvador." Now, I told them, because I'm from North Carolina, I knew she probably was down the road. Her and her family working at the factory that's down the road. That's close. But my friend that was with me was like, "They need to speak English." I said, "Well, if they pulled them here for some factory job in the mountains that nobody wanted to work in North Carolina, and they're just in an enclave with themselves, who's going to teach them English?" We've all seen the child that translates for their parents. We've all seen that, where the 8-year-old little boy is like, "What is it?" Okay. Then turns around, speaks Spanish to the parents, and then turns around, speak English to you. I've seen that at the Austin, Texas electricity place. I've seen that everywhere you can think of. That's right. Cam only take cash. They know how to count that money, though. I was in that line, and so this place has a gun. It's called it's Austin Utilities, but essentially Austin Utilities then made some weird reason, mostly because of the Hispanic community here in Austin, that you have to pay cash at this place. So they got a gun, armed dude. You can't come in there with your gun. I don't care who you are. And he's on guard and he's standing up with his gun on his hip, and everybody in line pays cash. So you come, and as I'm in line, the little boy's translating to her what the bill is. And when he said 265 in English, the mom was already counting. Okay, she was already counting. So don't play me like they don't know English. They know enough to count the monies, okay? So look, there's so many other numbers we could go on, but like the fact is, you see it with trucking. They've been showing where there have been truck accidents where the driver doesn't speak English. Some of them are Asian, some of them are Mexican. I mean, not Mexican, but Hispanic origin. So there's a lot of stuff where you guys could really come in and dominate, but you got to wake up. You really got to wake up. I made the joke. I was like, if you could get 1 million Haitians across that border or in the United States, and all of them sent $100 a week home, that's $100 million. Haiti would look like Miami in 3 years. See, that's okay. There's always been them stopping Haitians from coming in. They let Cubans in, but not Haitians. So, I mean, I'm telling you that you got to be proactive. You can't be reactive. And a lot of people sitting here fighting me tooth and nail about buying homes and cleaning your credit. Like, nah, Erica, just give me that business credit. What you really want me to do is tell you how to get a bunch of credit cards so you can travel and stunt on the gram and go on vacations, when really you're going to wake up in 5 years and your kneecap's going to hurt because you're going to be old, and you're going to be like, "Erica, I need to start a business." Bro, you should have started one 5 years ago. For Julio bought 27 more Julios. What are you doing? If I could show y'all my friend's medical supply company, it is literally here in Austin. It is literally a little display wall. You ever seen a display wall? I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about if you're not in retail. And you put little stuff on the display wall and you got a little desk and the cash register's there. He don't never be in there. All the supplies are in the back. It's really just this front of the store just to show it has a location, and they just ship stuff all the time. I ain't gonna name his company because I don't want him to chop me in my neck. But literally, if you were to drive by in Austin, you'd be like, "Oh, bedpans and walkers. Oh, I don't need to go in that store," and you'd keep on walking and ignore it because most of the time the door's locked because they're in the back boxing up stuff. Dude, go pick up the book Illusions of Entrepreneurship. Go pick that book up. It'll blow your mind. The average person who starts a business is 44 to 48-year-old white dude with a wife and a small low-tech company, and half of them be starting it online. So, I mean, there's so many numbers I can throw at y'all tonight, but I don't want to bore you to death. But I'm telling y'all, there's millions of dollars going right by your faces, and you're not even paying attention. You're not. So, again, if you want to fight and argue about $14 an hour jobs and why women won't date men who make $2,000 a month and all this stuff, I'm not the channel for you. I'm really not. If that's what you want to fight about, I'm not the channel for you. And somebody said, "Well, Erica, why are Americans so lazy and complacent?" We've been here. We've been born here. We're used to nice homes, nice apartments, nice cars. That drive is not as strong as it would be for somebody who just came from a house. That's not a bad house, but the power go out sometimes, the water go out sometimes. I mean, there's people I know from where is it? The Philippines? No, not the Philippines. She came here from Singapore because it's too expensive to live in Singapore now. It's too expensive. Can't afford to live there. Somehow they got here. I ain't asked all them questions. I ain't tell me no lies. I don't want to ask no questions. Now, but I do know a Vietnamese gas station owner and another Vietnamese kid. Now, here's two. The Vietnamese kid I know downtown that has the 4 Honda Fits. Now, you know, when you come here on a student visa, it's illegal for you to work unless you are getting some kind of, work student program or something like that. It's a couple of different layers of it. And so basically he knew he couldn't work legally, but he had got almost $20,000 back in his student scholarships. He's been filling out scholarships left and right. And what he did is he went to the auction here in Austin, us up on that rough ghetto road over there. What's that name of that road? Y'all, it's ghetto, but y'all know I'm talking about in Austin if you hear. And they have a big auction over there on that road. Anyway, that side of town is being gentrified too. He went and bought 4 Honda Fits because that's all he knew. He knew Honda Fits were good cars that last long. Went, and he's a boy. I'm just going to say this in not ugly way. He barely cleaned them. He didn't really get them detailed. He paid some guy to clean them and made sure they got oil changes and they were running. And he has 4 Honda Fits on Torino.com, y'all. One Honda Fit he rents out a month at a time for $1,200 a month. Now, I said, now who going to rent that car for that? And he says it stays rented out because people use their credit card. Other foreigner students rent it from him for a whole month. Other people. Yep, Rafael Mendoza, yes. East Austin's being gentrified. It's mostly already gone. And then the other Honda Fits he rents out for like 40 to 60 a day. So let's do the math. One car is automatically gone for $1,200. And the other ones, let's do the math. Now, I've seen him. He really doesn't need to drive because he literally lives right there by the school, right there by the college campus. So 60 times 3. That's 180 a day. Times 30 days, that's 5,400. Plus, do the math, it's 1,200 car that rents out for a month. So that means he gets $6,000 a month off that business because guess what? He pays taxes on that business ideal. So, again, Torino's passive income, just like Airbnb. And the Airbnb video from Kendra Barnes is coming tomorrow. It'll probably drop around noon or 2 o'clock. It's already done and edited from Video Kid, Mr. J-Rock. But the other Vietnamese guy I know that's in Georgetown, Texas, if you're in Georgetown, Texas, you know where I'm talking about on Williams Drive. He got a gas station. And the gas station didn't have no gas for a long time. And I was like, who got this gas station with no gas? With these bags over this gas station forever. Go in there, find out it's a Vietnamese guy. He's studying in his books while he's sitting at the register. And there's a black guy sitting on a stool. A tough looking black guy sitting on the stool. I'll just put it that way. And clearly the black guy's being paid. I don't know how much, but to sit on that stool, make sure nobody steal. And I went there to go get change because I needed change. End up talking to him. End up meeting him also at a Chamber of Commerce events in Georgetown. And homeboy was smart as a whip. there on a student visa. Somehow came into enough money via scholarships and credit cards. Because trust me, they learn how to get the credit cards. And he went and got that gas station. But because I don't know if you guys know this about gas stations, you got to have your credit right. You got to have a deposit. They're not playing with you. You're not going to come get gas like just like that. So because it took him so long, it took him about 4 months to even, I think, is get all his stuff in the ducks in a row to be able to have the deposit for the gas, y'all. Because I thought this is a ghetto gas station with no gas forever here. Every time I drive in Williamson Drive, this Korean man, well, I thought he was Korean, but he was Vietnamese, has no gas. And he looked old, and he was just like, I'm so tired from being up all day and going to school. And I would ask him who sits behind the counter here when you're not here. He picks another foreign student to sit behind the counter. So when he's in class, other guys are not in class, they pick behind the counter. But the black guy sits on the stool as security because they are located near the only project in Georgetown. So that's two immigrant stories. And of course, people are going to be like, well, Erica, those are just your stories. Those are just people, Oh my God, Erica, how dare you give us stories and not numbers? Y'all, I can't do much for y'all because y'all be tripping. Now, I'm going to go through these comments. It's late. Thank y'all for being here. There's 150 of y'all here. It's 60 likes. Come on, baby. Let's get the likes up. Come on. Do your girl right. Don't do me like that. Oh, no, it's not letting me go all the way back up to the chat. Oh, no. Well, I can't get all the way to the top. It says it's getting scary. I didn't hear about the caravan until this week. Don't know what's going to happen. Enjoying all my popcorn. Vote Democrat to keep the borders open. If I can say this, local politics matter more than anything you can ever think of. When people don't register to vote and people go and say, Erica, voting doesn't matter. Listen, if you don't register to vote, when they have those trials where the cops go on trial and the black people go on trial, the Mexicans go on trial, and you go, who was the jury let them off? You were. You, the person who was supposed to register to vote so you could go get your choice to be on jury duty that everybody hates. You're the person up there. That's you. When you say who's the judge in your county, who's the people running this city, running this county, the judge, the magistrate, it's you. So if you got some old yokel Billy Bob out there like, I'm going to put everybody in jail for 20 years. I don't care if they're drunk driving or whatever. That's you. You didn't vote locally. Now, national elections, it's a wow hair thing, but local elections matter. Local politics matter. Having a business in a small city, you make the changes. Now, let me see if we can find his name. There's a black man he owns Central Gun Texas Works. Central Gun Texas Works. I took a class underneath him. Central Texas Gun Works. It's a black guy who owns it. His name is, let me find his name. Make sure I get his name right. I'm sorry. Okay, point of me saying this, trying to get his name right, excuse me, is the fact that he is the number one person in Texas who gets laws passed. And he's black. And he's a gun business owner. And he carries like a ridiculous amount of guns on him. His name Mike. Where is he at? He also, funny thing, he accepts Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum as payments for guns. So he's been making the news. Let's see if I find him. Anyway, if anybody can find Mike's name up there, full name, tell me to you. Please let me know. But it's on 321 West Ben White Boulevard, Suite 203, Austin, Texas. Central Texas Gun Works. Anybody looks that up for me and tells me the name of the guy, I appreciate it. Essentially, homeboy, the reason he started his gun company, and he's like the number one person to help pass laws in Austin and Texas for guns, is because, I found it. I think I did. Michael Cargill. And he's black. He's a black Cargill. Now, why am I making such a big dramatic part about him being black and him being a gun owner and him being a gun store owner? Because people act like, oh my God, if black people have guns, people going to shoot him. They're going to shoot him down. That's not true. This guy is the number one guy in the country or in the state of Texas, making laws that affect you as a Texan, because he's fighting every day to keep more guns, not less, on the streets. More legal guns on the streets. And so, being a business owner in a small town, even in a big town, gives you power, Gives you ownership, gives you power. People don't want to mess with you. Okay, Nick Taylor, I want to bring him on the show at some point. He owns a little convenience store in a small part of Texas on the way people go out to their boats. People don't mess with him. They don't mess with him. So, Erica, the thumbnail is dope. Thank you, Doug. Doug, the number one moderator on YouTube. I'm sorry, Doug, I haven't made you my moderator because you be so busy, Doug. I be scared you ain't never gonna be over here for me. Exactly. Make humanity great again. Said, woo, your bus route anecdote just goes to show you what it's like to run a society. Folks can facilitate whatever they want to facilitate. Very true. Very, very true. Let me go down. Oh, see if it'll let me. Yeah, it's going down. Get a trade, Raphael, every day of the week. I'm meeting people, and I'm gonna say this, and it's such a stereotype. I'm meeting dudes who are 28 to 32. Their parents been telling them to get a trade since they were 18. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Now they're 28 to 30, can't get an apartment they want, have to live with a bunch of roommates, upset, and you sit here tell them to go get a trade, and they go, "It's too late. I don't want to do that." I know there was a guy who he has 3 kids, and he's always losing apartments. And you're like, bro, you need to get a damn job, a trade. Oh, I love cooking. I want to be in a restaurant. Restaurants don't pay high money unless you are a cook with a certification. Even then, that's not guaranteed. So finally, guess what he did? Got a trade as a mechanic. Now, guess what? He's pregnant again. His wife is pregnant. Just got married again. So it's like, okay, hope you're not going homeless again. So people will do what they want, but get a trade is the number one thing. Cam. I heard it takes 3 to 5 years after immigrants arrive to even be visible in the workforce because they are working their table. Well, what they're trying cities are trying to do is base it off apartments, move-ins, DMV. People be getting driver's license left and right. It's very unique. A lot of stuff, but it takes a couple of years for people to show up if they're really good under the radar. I told you about Jason's Deli. All the ladies, there was a lady who'd been working there for 20 years, and they were like, why is she not a manager? And the first reason the guy said is she's been using a disabled woman out of Idaho's identification for the past 20 years. And everybody goes, well, how's the woman in Idaho not getting her? Well, guess what? She's in a group home, and the Hispanic woman is always paying the taxes. So federal government has to know where she is. Like, there's someone in Texas using your ID all the time, every year, done bought a house consistently in one place. This woman's in a group home. I'm telling you, they're coming up in the workforce. Just depends on different ways, unfortunately. Erica, what do you think of web developers? Lando, I think get in where you fit in. I think as the market changes, I think most people when they get in a career, they see the tide changing. Like this guy said he used to draw cartoons for newspapers. And he said as soon as he got in the market out of high school, out of college, he knew it was over. Or if he wanted to make money, continue drawing like that, he'd have to go to Japan, or he'd have to like change, do comic books, work for EA Sports, work for some kind of computer gaming program. Interesting. It sounds like I need a new home inspection license. Man, there's so many, I hate to say there's so many different ways you can go get licenses and certifications. Nobody got to know. You ain't got to be on Facebook telling everybody you getting certifications. You just go get them. There's a young man right now who he got his real estate license in Texas, but it's hard to just come out the gate swinging. That he has been in several different states doing what home inspections because of what the storm. So, oh, I'm sorry you're sick, Brandon Jackson. Please take a get well. You want passive income? That's true, Raphael. Most people do, but you got to invest. They are cutting back visas in tech. The jobs are out there in mass. They really are. Be on Messenger and Facebook all day long. Exactly. I know I have a friend, we joke, he's an engineer. He's a high paid engineer. He be on Facebook all day and everybody's like, what kind of job is that? Even a dude making 56 an hour is on the computer all day. So, come on, people, you can get paid $80,000 a year in digital marketing, managing online ads on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, it's true, Cam. Oh, how, Sway? How? Listen, man, I'll be wanting to say how, Sway 40 times a week. Oracle, Microsoft hiring 100,000 plus jobs, and engineering paying for your training, sign on bonuses. Oracle, y'all pay attention now. Solar industry is growing, seeing a lot more homes with them. Oh yeah, that's the trend of the future. As inflation hits, as cost of home electricity bills go through the roof, honey, you're gonna see solar on every neighborhood. Whole neighborhoods starting out with solar. Opportunity credits, yep. Trucking companies are signing people $5,000 sign-on bonuses, yep. I found out you do not want to waste your money on solar panels or wind turbines. Well, it depends on the area. Now, wind turbines are starting to get a little bit more friction. Like this one dude almost went to jail because he would not take his wind turbine down. And you can look that up on John Stossel's report. I got to see if Arizona has opportunities like this. It probably does. Now, here's the problem. A lot of people, even somebody said in the private Facebook group, oh, they don't want to pay. That's really the problem. They don't want to pay. And it's like, guess what? Your bills are not their problem. Your student loans are not their problem. All this other stuff is not their problem. They don't have to pay your bills or pay you enough to pay your bills. And I didn't mean it in a harsh way, but it's like the marketplace says this is how much you're going to pay in Arizona. This is how much you're going to pay. A lot of people leave out of New York upset because, they pay this much in New York. No one cares what they pay in New York. If you want to be in New York, go back to New York. If you want to be in DC, Baltimore, all these places, you got to go back to them because it's the only place you're going to get paid like that. It's the only place. And sorry, something is making noise on the computer. Sorry. Another video is playing in the background. So here it is. Tell me if y'all can see that. Oops. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Hey, there's some links for y'all. Okay, in the bottom. All right. Erica, you are a real black revolutionist. Good looking out for your folks. I mean, I'm not even look. See, okay, let's have a real moment here. Now, I know y'all hiding in the comment section, and that's okay. But 90% of my clients from this channel are white and Hispanic. When it comes to credit repair, when it comes to tax lien courses, buying the tax lien courses, buying the medical marijuana courses, I've looked up a lot of the names. I've seen your LinkedIn, and some of y'all are white and Hispanic. A lot of y'all. So when people are like, "Oh, Erica, you talk too much about black people stuff," it doesn't seem to affect the sales. Doesn't seem to affect the sales. So, you know, it is for whoever it is. My company is begging us to train for leadership because so many senior positions will be open for the younger generation within the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah, and the problem with that, Ty Hall, is a lot of people like, well, I don't know if I want to be here that long. You probably are, so go ahead and take it. I have friends here in Austin who've been at some of their jobs 14, 15, 16, 17 years. And I thought, how is this possible, Sway? How? They just keep staying. 12 family members. That's a small village. It really is, though. Like, there's a guy who's on YouTube and he moved to Korea. Now, you say what you will. His dad was black, but old black man with a young Asian wife. She won't young. Trust me, a lot of times when they marry like that, they 30. What they call over there, 25 years old, is called day old cake or Christmas cake. I forgot the name of it exactly, but so he married her mom, brought her back to America. Her whole family here. So when him, as a grown man, half black, half Asian, was like, "I'm going to go back to Korea," there's no family for him to go back to over there. They all are in America because of chain link migration. When you bring your wife, she can bring her mom, which she did. She brought her brothers and her sisters and her siblings. They have no family over there. That's how serious it is. That's why when people be like, "Oh, we got to close the borders," by the time you decide to close the borders, they got a whole family over here. They got a whole family. So I watch his YouTube channel. I think he's nice, but for him to be like, "I'm going to Korea because I identify as being Korean," all your Korean families here in America. There ain't nobody over there. There ain't nobody. There are coding boot camps out here guaranteeing you a job after, and you don't have to pay for the training until you get a high paying job. There you go, Cam Cam. Oh, I know. People stay rude. It's all good. People keep sleeping on online jobs. If more people start working online, they won't have to worry about those migrants. Listen, that's my whole point. If y'all will elevate yourselves just one push up, you don't have to worry about this. The whole book, Slight Edge, the whole thing, Compound Effect, the whole One Thing by Gary Keller, all these books, all they're just showing you is there's not a lot of people at the top. And many people's like, Erica, you don't know that. You don't know that. Listen, there's only 1 million black dudes making 70,000 a year. There's 600,000 black dudes making 100K plus or more a year. And a bulk of them is married, okay? So it's just like, there's a lot of room if you guys do it. Things haven't really changed in Dallas 13 years or so. Frisco was the fastest growing city in America. Yeah, every time I go to Dallas, it looks like y'all building new stuff everywhere. Thank you, Alvin. Alvin Holler, they be talking about Houston ghetto every day of the week. It just drive me crazy. They need to call it Tejas, the Tejas. I write Texas Tejsas. Cracks me up. Also, something I do that makes the valet dudes happy. Like a valet driver comes pull up, I'll have Spanish music on. And they'll be like, "Oh, you?" They don't know. They don't even be knowing. Like, there's a guy here. He was upset because he was like, "All the Hispanic people act white, Erica," and I'm like, "No, they just act Texan. They're not acting white." I had to explain it to him because he's from Brooklyn. He was very offended. Oh, Franklin Mine, Georgia. Georgia has a huge Hispanic population and a huge Asian population right now. They got Korean stores selling soul food out there in Georgia, but I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I don't want to quote. And somebody be like, "Where's your source?" A lawful green card holder, permanent resident for 5 years, have established continuous residency for 5 years and are physically present in the United States. Thank you, T. Kelly. Highest crime rates today are by Latin men. No offense. Listen, Cam, Austin, Texas, they be looking for black people. And I'd be like, it's young Hispanic men and white men here that do the robbing. It's so hilarious. Like I told you, every time I go to town, like I watch out for white dudes because I'm like, they can blend in when they be robbing cars. Those druggies look a little skinny though, so you know who they are. King Nick, when people say XYZ is ghetto, it usually means they have a high concentration of blacks. Learn that one from my non-black college friend in college. Oh, dude. And I don't even think they even mean is black as ghetto because there's a lot of Africans. There's a lot of Asians. There's a lot of legal Asians. I've told y'all about that. Like they literally have about 400 business owners in Houston that they're kind of trying to protect because ICE might come in and get them at any time. And them Asian men is going to their companies and opening the door and just working like usual. Very international. Yep. Merchant portal and healthcare and energy hub. Facts. Houston traffic was my first day of training when I got my CDL. Ooh, Kendrick. That's awful. That's awful. A few hoods like any other state. Yeah, my friend lives over. Well, my gay friend. He lives over in a part of Houston that um, is like by the Triangle, over by UC of H. And they're like, "Oh, it's murderous over there. It's violent. The crime is out crazy." And him and his gay boyfriend are like, "What are you talking about? It's a great street." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's probably dangerous a couple streets over." KB Rain, I almost turned the lamp off. I'm about to go to bed. Man, this is a cool light too. This is actually a very bright bulb and it makes me hot in here. So I'm like, I'm already getting hot. I ain't got time for this. Rent too high in California, NYC. But the problem is y'all come here and y'all vote the same stuff that got you in trouble in California. Thank you, Cam. I really do quote like articles that are gonna go and stuff. And I'm just like, you guys are tripping. University publishes data. Well, yep. But see, here's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. The slight edge, Cam. The fact that I'm reading off the name of the article, the title of the articles. You can Google it, you can check it. There's databases on it. Some people are like, "Well, I don't know where that stat came from. It can't be real," and it just drives me crazy. Oh, they moving to Charlotte for sure. Like I went to the Jamaican club, the reggae club over there by the plaza last weekend when I was there a couple weekends ago when I was in Charlotte. That club stayed open to 4 in the morning, y'all. Almost 4:30. I was like, this is crazy. But it was all kind of islanders because why? Who knows why? Charlotte is an international hub. Their planes go where? To all the islands through JetBlue. And so guess what happens? Those people come into Charlotte and they don't go home. And because they look like black people until you start hearing them talk. And you're like, oh, you're from Jamaica? Oh, you're from this island? Oh, you're from Antigua? They come in here and they get jobs and they go to work and nobody knows the difference. Blame the homesteading movement. More affordable housing in Charlotte? Really? Riverside safe? Interesting. Tiny homes, off the grid movement, homestead and grow your own food, solar. Hmm. I live in Maricopa County. The homes are not as cheap as East Phoenix and Scottsdale. Gentrification is said to be in place to be able to manipulate the surplus of melanin, steer it to where they can prefer it. Listen, here's the thing. Gentrification, you will be moved. There's a guy who made a documentary on it. You will be moved. If you cannot afford to live in these major cities, like there's a show on Netflix called 3%, and everybody's like, oh, that's dramatic and that's ridiculous. But I almost see it. I almost see it. Like, there's some areas where people in the rural areas and they're real poor. They live, it look like they live in the suburbs, but they out there too far. They really can't work city jobs because it's too far. They're too broke. That's going to happen to some people. That's why if you work from home, it doesn't matter. You can live closer to the city or farther out. Wake County in the house. What's up, Kareem? Orlando, Florida. 150K for a home is cheap for California or NY middle class family. Plus, it's safer than inner city living. Facts. U.S. has been going through a shift. Yeah, Jay Charles, it's been going in a shift for a while. That's why when I was on Shay Show, I was like so shocked that all the black men are like mechanic jobs and factory jobs. I'm like, whoa, what are y'all doing? What are y'all all working in? Like, haven't you been watching this show? Haven't you been paying attention? Like, you need to get a trade like yesterday. Dallas outskirts in Austin. Yep. 150K home in Phoenix is cheap. Yeah, when people be like, I'm like, it's 150,000. Oh, I'm like, where are you from? The boonies? Where it's 80K? I talked to somebody from Arizona and they said it's hot, but it's dry heat, not humid. 98 degrees is 98 degrees. I don't care how doggone dry it is. Facts. Every time we complain about hotness in Texas, we used to have this Arizona manager go, you don't know what hot is. I'm like, girl, miss me with that. Phoenix employment market is hot. Okay. It's only a matter of time for Houston's number one. I might move to Arizona, Erica. Okay, Cam. It's hot out there. Almost 1 a.m. in Ohio. Okay, been the bartender. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up? So many people. No new people commenting. What's up? Jobs are everywhere in Phoenix. Tone talks, misinformation. Told me so. Yep. Lots of distribution centers in Inland Island and 2 medical schools. Thank you, Always Ready 24/7. When I moved to Arizona in 2014, there was nothing in AZ. Now it's night and day difference. When I visited, it was like nothing out there. But that was several years ago. Several. Minority based. Yep. A lot of healthcare and tech in Phoenix. That makes sense. Tons of new development and communities. Yep. Average 10 employees. Yeah. Yep. That's right. Been the bartender. Might just need a warehouse and fulfill orders as they come. Yep. Ooh, y'all got a lot of comments in here. Going down, going down. Chris Madonna, wait until you see how racist West Texas Latinos are. They are very different from Latinos from Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. Very different. Oh yeah. They crazy out there. That's why I don't want them to get any more out in El Paso. I'll say this as for a record. When I lived in Georgetown, I'd go in the grocery store in Georgetown, and it'd be a Hispanic man, a husband with a black woman, Hispanic husband with a white woman, Hispanic husband with a you name it. And I would go through the store and be like, I used to make a joke. I'm like, every man in here covered in paint with multiple different colored women, right? And it didn't matter because I think it's supply and demand. It's like if you were a lot of men in the area, All you see is the black ladies over here in Georgetown. You can do marry one of them. All you see is the white ladies in Salado. You'll marry one of them. They'll get in where they fit in. Central California is basically Spanish speaking, and the East Indians own gas stations. Ooh, that's crazy. Choose a new career before you're forced out. Yeah, I mean, I really like, to me, that's all the coal miners, that's all the factory workers who knew for the past 20 years factory jobs been going out the door. And they're like, nah, Erica, nah, I'm gonna, bro, pick a trade while you're still young, while your mind's still fresh, while you can still study in the afternoons. Even if you got little kids, you can take an hour every day and put a timer on. But you know what people want to do? They want to come home and veg out. I heard this man at the restaurant the other day. No lie, I was eating dinner with my friends. He literally gave play by play of the third quarter of some game between, who was it? It was the Falcons and Atlanta Falcons and somebody. And he gave every detail. And me and my friends were laughing. We're like, how does the man know this? And then in the end, when he started talking, he gambled on the game. So I was like, homeboy, gambling on the game, know his whole life about the game. And he may make money. I don't know. He may win some, lose some. But for me, that is a waste of a time unless he's making tons of money. So, yep. Jake Charles. I met a Mexican who makes 6K driving CDL 4 days a week. He barely spoke English. Cash moves. Bilateral knee replacement ain't cheap. It really ain't. There's a mindset that needs to be adjusted. Overcoming the illusion of looking like life is amazing, but actually working hard to make it amazing with multiple streams of income. Yes. Yes, I had a plumber show up to my apartment complex, not a drop of English. Oh, all the time. Singapore is expensive. NYC, facts. East Austin, yep. Medical supplies are valuable with the opioid crisis. Same in a few years when the economy tanks and they start permitting marijuana sales to boost the economy, cleaning all those dope fiends up. Oh, honey, that's coming. That's why I'm going to that conference this year. Y'all think I'm playing? Torino is passive income. I thought about getting two more cars here and just doing the Torino app, but then I'm never going to be home. I don't think I'm going to be home enough. And then I'd be like, leave the car, and then I have to find a way to do all that. That'd be too much. I have never eaten this much Mexican food living in New York City. Julia, you don't even know. Girl, people be laughing like, Erica, you eat tacos every day? I'm like, that's what's here to eat. It's tacos. Just more tacos and more tacos. Somebody gave a $5 super chat, but I can't find it. It like disappeared. So anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. I don't know what happened, but I was trying to find the super chat somebody gave. Somebody gave a $5 super chat. Thank you for giving it, whoever it was. Bro, this summer was 120 and last year, what are you talking about? So here's the thing about that, when it's 100 degrees here in Texas, most people with some dollars, they leave. Period. They don't be here. Oh, okay, I see it. It just skipped a whole section, y'all. I'm so sorry. Greek surgeon, keep the info coming. $5 super chat. Thank you. Hey, rugged collars, no at, please do not at me because it's a bright red in the comment section. Like, I'll forgive you, but like, please don't, because it like messes your eyes up as you're trying to read all the chats. Well, and I'll be in Detroit. We'll have a happy hour at Tap at MGM Graham on Friday night. Thank you guys. Thank you. Oh my God, Rock and Roll Dina. Thank you for the $5. See, it's a whole section. I just missed. I don't know. It just jumped. Cam. All these people want to do is crypto, and you can crypto pay your decent salary into engineering. The pay is horrible. Is it horrible? I'm rugged collars. There's so many business opportunities. There's gonna be so many incentives. It's like the Wild West. I know a guy right now getting like 100 LLCs, and we're like, for what? And he's just getting them. I don't even know why. He's just getting them. He's acting a fool right now. Wires are annoying at mentioning pay when your pay is still peanuts compared to cost of living. I'm telling you, Rock and Roll Dina, I used to get paid $25 an hour. And then you find out what they did. They were just a damn receptionist in a front office. Honey, when you come here, they're gonna pay you $12, $15 an hour for that. Because they can put their teenage daughter up front. They don't even need you. Like, go get some skills. Don't come here from New York cussing people out. Go get some skills. Oh, no worry, make humanity great. No worries. Carlos CEO Gene, thank you for that. He said, Erica, you always talk about positive informational topics with a touch of humor. I appreciate you. All I can do is laugh because at this point, sometimes I'm talking to people, I'm like, are we for real? It's crazy. Thank you guys. Thank you, Greek Surgeon. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Regular Cars. Thank you, Cam Cam. All right, T. Kelly, get that DoorDash. Coding. Yep. Chris McDonald, they call Houston ghetto for euphemisms for too many blacks and Latinos. Korean soul food is real in ATL. Koreans already came up for soul food in Harlem too. They gonna make the money, y'all. Third Ward. Thank you. That's the name of it. Third Ward. They think I speak Spanish because I kind of look Rican. Yeah, that happens. It's gentrifying. Third Ward was a major crime area in the past. TSU and U of H students get robbed all the time in the past. Really? That's terrible. TSU? What's TSU? Texas State University? Yeah. Lots of people are more concerned with national politics than the area they're living in, and they look to blame everybody else when they lose their jobs. Erica, you get down in Jamaican Club. I just for that night, I was like, what is going on? Caribbean people like JetBlue and Caribbean Airlines, they do. They be getting on them planes, get to Charlotte, don't never go back home. JetBlue is the truth. Visit Trinidad in 5 hours nonstop. Can we get a link to the article about the new Birmingham LL bus routes due to immigrants leaving? So Lamborghini King, this was about 3 years ago, but if you look up Lamborghini King, if you look up the new immigration laws in Alabama about 3 years ago, I would say actually more than three, but if you look up Hoover, look up no, look up agricultural collapse in Birmingham, Alabama. That should pull up the art one of the articles. That should lead you to down a rabbit hole. I went to a mastermind 3 years ago in Phoenix, and Tex-Mex was enough for me to want to move. Chipotle's gross. People be going to Chipotle here, and then you look who's in there. It's nothing but college students or people from New York. We be like New Yorkers. Why? We got all this real Texan food here. Yes, Chris McDonald, this is true. One of my black female friends said there are a lot of Latino dudes like black women on the sneak. Man, there's a club here called, it's literally spelled out rodeo, but they call it rodeo. Are you coming to the rodeo? And it'd be plenty of black women there dancing with them Hispanic men. They trying to get to America. Okay. They don't care. Bully is starting it. Yeah, Texas University, largest black HBU in Texas, helped create some of the black middle class here in Houston. Lots of Nigerians at TSU and U of H. Oh yeah, same thing with Houston Tilson here in Austin. It's full of Middle Easterns, Africans. It's full of everybody else. I'm not joking. Listen, the Chipotle people always got New York. They got like New York hats on, New York gear on. Like Kansas City people be having gear on. So I'm like, go back to Kansas. We be making fun of them. Like that's who be in Chipotle. It's always like dudes too with glasses. Like, what's up, girl? Hey, like you're like, no. A lot of Arabs at TSU. Oh man, yeah. So look, you guys, it's late. It's 12:30 here in Austin, Texas. I don't know. It's got to be 1:30 on East Coast. So take y'all rumps to bed. Thank y'all for being here. Chipotle gonna be on sale too. Hey, Chipotle gonna have to go on sale. They keep having people in the back not wash their nasty hands touching all the food. So we've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes. Thank you guys. You've been amazing. Thanks for the super chats, Rock and Roll Tina, and also Greek Surgeon. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful evening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hit the like button. Also, look out for Kendra Barnes' show tomorrow. All the links are going to be in the comment section below for different opportunities and different things you can join. Private Facebook group, tax liens. I'll do a video on here maybe Friday for tax liens. I'm not certain because we're going to talk about the updates. And then when I upload the videos for the marijuana investment course, I'll do a video on here. That's a freebie video, and then the rest videos will be on there. New videos will be added over there. So everybody, this is Erica, the Classy Climb blog. You guys have been wonderful in the late night special. You guys have a wonderful night.